Hello, Sat Sri Akal, Namaste. Welcome to the Love, Laugh, Live Chat Show with Dav and Gurdial.
प्यार करो हंसो ते जुग जुग जियो वाला शो करन तो पहला ही कहना है love with passion,
Laugh with pleasure
and live with promise.
तो ਇਹਦਾ मतलब है दिलों प्यार करो, दिल भर के हंसो, ता विश्वास नाल जियो.
I hope you like our new intro. This is what we thought we'd decide to do for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And so my name is Dav Ubi. I'm a life and spiritual coach, and sitting next to me.
And my name is Gurdial Garcha, and I'm an empowerment and resilience coach. And today we're going to be bringing you, because it's the new year, we thought we'd start with something nice and fresh. So 40 ideas that will help you learn how to live your best life.
I'm sorry, but I just feel myself just in this giggly mood at the moment. But you know, this is what show's all about, just pyar karo haso te jug jug jiyo wala show. And but like I said, we just want to be our natural selves and have a good laugh.
Definitely.
And yeah, this topic we're going to do today is something that's very important. And we thought because it's a new year now, we're going to have just have a more insight on how to live a much more happy and a best life we can.
So this idea came up from Oprah Winfrey, and she speaks about living your best life. It's made famous by her, and this is what Love, Laugh, Live is all about. So in other words, how we choose our thoughts, our actions, our behaviours consciously can determine the quality of the life that we lead.
And I thought I'm going to start off with a little story, Gurdal, if you don't mind. I think this is there's a lot of meaning in this story. We'll discuss it later on. But actually, a story gade bare and the farmer. So ek din ek farmer siga, and oda gada na o khoo vich dig paya. ते वो गधा रोवे ऊंची ऊंची रोवे and किन्ना चेर farmer ने कोशिश की थी और मैं कितना कटा खूह दे विचों. फिर I think after a while farmer सोचता you know ਇਹਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕੱਢਣ ਨੂੰ ਪਰ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਮੈਂ ਰਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਹਫਤੇ ਚਾਹਦੇ ਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇਣਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਵੇਸਟ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਆਪਣੀ then ਫਿਰ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਗੁਆਂਢੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਗੈਟ ਸਮ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਸਪੇਡ ਐਂਡ ਲੈਟਸ ਜਸਟ ਕਵਰ ਦਿਸ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਭਰ ਦੋ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਵੀ ਕਾਂਟ ਡੂ ਐਨੀਥਿੰਗ ਐਲਸ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਸਪੇਡ ਦਾ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਸੁੱਟੀ ਜਾਣ ਖੂਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਗਧਾ ਦਾ ਚੀਕਾ ਮਾਰੇ ਘਬਰਾ ਗਿਆ ਐਂਡ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਬਾਅਦ they realized there's quiet. They couldn't hear any screaming and the gada was not making any noise. ਫਿਰ ਲੋਕ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋ ਗਏ thinking ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਫਿਰ farmer ਜਾਂਦਾ ਖੂਹ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ he goes like really surprised. He noticed ਜਦੋਂ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਸੁੱਟਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਧੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਢੂਈ ਤੇ he would shake it off and shake off ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੀਚੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ so every time he shaked it off ਉਹ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੀਚੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਨਾ he allowed himself to step up every time
so he's raising himself up.
He is raising himself up and then he found himself ਥੋੜੇ ਚਿਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਉੱਪਰ ਆਈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਗਧਾ until he eventually came to the top of the coup and before he knew it he just trotted out and went on his way. So you know there's a moral to the story. What is the moral, do you think?
So it just means that jidda marji thodi life hegi hai je tus thode aukha time aunda hai no matter how dark you know the times happening and you're so scared and you're worried and you think the worst thing's going to happen, but sometimes that can really lead you into a better place, but it's trusting the process, isn't it?
I suppose you can use the mitti analogy of symbolizes the challenges. So it's like the dirt. You know. And every time dirt is thrown at you, that's the challenges that are coming to you. Either you can bury yourself. Or you can use the challenge to raise yourself up again. And this is what the gade ne kita. He goes, mitti ta mere aa rahi hai, either main mar sakta, dab sakta, and fall deeper into it, or I can use that mitti to raise myself up and rise above this challenge. And I think it's a beautiful analogy.
I loved it too. So if you look at the challenges as opportunities and you can then grow and learn, matlab bi jehdi bi thode okay time ya bi je tusi ਉਸ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖੋ ਵੀ ਆਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਆ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੋਹਰੇ ਆਈ ਹੈ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਆਇਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੋਹਰੇ ਵੀ ਹਾਊ ਕੈਨ ਆਈ ਗਰੋ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਕਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਗਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਔਖਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹਾਊ ਕੈਨ ਯੂ become more resilient. So Dav's got a story about some challenging times in terms of digestive issues that you had.
Yeah, I mean, challenges that we all have throughout our lives, but eventually to see that life thinking, you know, either I can just make my life so miserable, many dukhi ho sakte hain and become a victim, or use a challenge like I used it. I had a lot of digestive issues, any problem on this and on the highest doses of medication, and then there came to a moment in life and I was thinking, I've got to use this opportunity. What can I learn from this? So that's where it led me an opportunity thinking, no, I'm not going to be dependent on because I was already on the high dosage, and I was thinking, what is it for me to, my body is trying to tell me something. These symptoms, the digestive issues, message there. I want to understand the message behind this. So that's when I got myself involved into all these courses and understanding the emotional symptoms, the meaning here. So I just used that challenge to go into a path where I became a coach and became a mental health practitioner. So I learned about how to get the root cause of any illness and to change my emotions and my stories around it. And holly that led me to where I am today, that I became a coach. Instead of me just being the victim thinking that's it, my life is so it's a struggle, it's so difficult, it's painful, it's too much suffering, and I'm dependent on the medication. But eventually when I understood the dynamics of what was going on, I got off my medication. So that's how it helped me, my challenge.
So we've heard Dav's issues with, you know, how she's overcome a really challenging time, you know, in your life, and that's what's brought you to this point, and also myself. You know, in terms of, you know, you talk to me about how Dav finds me really funny, and
I mean, if you to see the program, even what mera hassa anybody could be she's got this talent that is her saath dindi hai.
But, you know, in that, like we discussed earlier, there's a part of me that feels like I shouldn't share that with everybody, because it's a very private part of me. But over time, being with Dav and with other people, you know, I've now got the confidence to be my authentic self. And that's what we're talking about in terms of living your best life. It's about allowing yourself to feel free, to become the person that you really want to be, in spite of feeling or thinking that you're going to be judged. And I suppose when we're together, we feel like, and I think that's what's so amazing about our energy, is that we accept each other for whoever, whatever we bring to the table. And I think that's where, you know, anybody can grow and celebrate their life, where they feel that they're not being judged. And that's where I know I can be really silly and say things which I know she's going to laugh at. So that's, for me, it's a win-win situation. So thank you, Dav.
No, but thank you, because that's what we call our show, the Love, Laugh and Live. You know, even though I'll be consumed with so much challenges, but when you're in the presence of somebody who just sees the humor, you know, in challenges and just general everyday life, it helps you to heal, it helps you to overcome the obstacles and the challenges. And I find when I'm around Gurdjieff with her sense of humor, I see the humor in the challenge as well. So humor, laughter is a very important part of how to live the best life.
Yeah, definitely. And since we've done this program, we found that even though there's been times where we have found, you know, it's really challenging, the subjects we talk about and how they're going to come across to people, but ultimately we have so much fun creating the program that hopefully that will come across to you as our viewers. So anyway, here are a few examples of real action that you can consider taking to bring more love, laughter and living into your life. So the first one?
The first one is realize your potential. And that means give your best effort to whatever that brings you joy and happiness. I mean, because this is where your potential lies. And sometimes people can spend their whole life, because we get so fixated on our everyday routine and obligation, and we ignore our potential. And we know when we're ignoring it, because we just feel very tired and we complain a lot. But jada to see you're actually pursuing to the underlying purpose of potential, you're just full of buzz, you're full of zest of life, and you just got the oomph just to do as much as you want, you know? So I just find that your inner desire could be just like you know, not having the confidence to speak. Sometimes people have that, but sometimes that's where you need to go, and that's where your potential is, to go and create that confidence, you know, where you can feel like you want to dance more, write more, bake more, travel more, where you just feel more alive.
So that's the first one, realizing your full potential. And then the next one is finding your place and your purpose. Now, some people can spend a whole lifetime not knowing what their place is and what their purpose is, and that's okay. But the thing is just to try different things. कि तुसी different चीज़ां try करो जिहड़ियां तुहानू खुशी मिलदी है. It may not make other people happy, but if it's something जिहदे नाल तुहानू खुशी मिलदी है, I mean, sometimes it can be cooking, baking, something that sparks something inside of you. You know, give yourself the chance to explore something creative, because creativity, that's a gift that you've been given. Whether you use it or not, it's a real personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've all got gifts that some of us just ignore, but there's those of us who think, you know what, I actually want to do this and see where I go. But it's allowing yourself to be that child and to play in different situations. So creativity is finding your place and your purpose, and hopefully over time you will find out what it is that you really love and you really enjoy. The next one is know your own potential.
That's your own inners. Like for me personally, I know my own potential is about sharing all what I've learned through my experiences, and I find that effortless. You put in too much effort into it, just coming naturally like a flow. Then I know that's my own potential and my inner thing. And like when I'm doing art or sketching vagera, then I know, because it doesn't feel like it's a task.
It's not hard work.
It's not hard work. You're just feeling relaxed. You feel it's a form of meditation,
therapy as well.
Therapy, meditation. That's your own inner skill potential, which I thoroughly enjoy, and obviously, especially the Love, Laugh and Live show we do together. Just like Monday, I had to go up to do my other job, and I find myself dragging out of bed. But I sort of went over. I see we had to do this show, up and about. Let's get ready and everything. You notice the difference in energy.
In your energy,
because you know this tells this is my own inner potential and this is my life purpose. You just feel like Jana in here. You know, so you can tell the difference.
And the thing is, if it was really hard work and we didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't continue with it, you know. And I think it's together. I mean, this is the saying that we use, which is ek kalla do 11. And I'm sure, you know, 1 is 1 and 2 ones together is 11. But when we're together, the energy is completely different, and even we can't work out what that actually means, but we know it gives us a real buzz. So hopefully, you know, with what we're talking about, that will do something for you. So the next one is be mindful. So being mindful means being present in whatever you're doing. You know, try not to stay in the past or stay in the future. Enjoy whatever it is that you're doing at that present moment, because that's where, you know, you won't have any worries or concerns or anything, because you're just focusing on what's in front of you. So mindfulness can also be like an exercise. It can be meditation. You know, you can just spend 2 minutes a day just being mindful about what you're actually focusing on and enjoy it. You know, if you're out in nature, take it in, breathe it in, you know, feel the wind, and just actually enjoy wherever you are. If you're with people, I mean, this is something I consciously do. If I'm with somebody, I won't listen to my phone, I won't look at my phone. I will try my best to be present, fully present with that person, and then that becomes a much more joyful experience.
It is, and it's like that, we only, in that moment, that's all we have. Mindful means that, you know, the past is gone, future that I only enjoy that moment, because it's a gift. The present moment is another word for gift. And don't waste it. Don't waste it thinking pichla agla. You know, it's a waste of time. It's futile. And just be So I was going to talk about the next way to live your best life, being spiritual. And I think I became more spiritual myself in the last 10 years. I mean, I was a very religious person. I grew up in a religious environment, but I found the difference. I found being spiritual for me is like a personal connection with higher consciousness. I have in the two-way communication. After religion, for me, it felt like I was following somebody else's rules. But this time it felt like it was unique. It was my own personal experience. And like I said, it's different for everyone. No one's wrong in their own spirituality. Everybody's right where they are. But I think that to lead your best life, have your own spiritual. And for me, spirituality wasn't just being all about, you got to be positive all the time. it's actually meant for me, like sometimes you feel like negative, you feel sad or upset, but actually through that experience allowed me to accept that spirituality means how through the negative time I can actually still be compassionate to myself, don't be too critical and too judgmental, how to still think that every emotion are all spectrums of love and embrace them all.
And that's something that I've learned from you, because I think sometimes we get this impression that spirituality is all about being Zen, and it definitely isn't. And I think it's about embracing every emotion that you've got, because whatever that emotion is, it's telling you something. There's something for you to learn. Why am I sad? Why am I angry? So it's looking behind the emotion and actually trying to work out what is this emotion telling me? What is it that I'm really sad about? What do I need to change?
Yeah, it's like a little child you love so much. Thoda bacha with 3 saal, 5 saal, and it's feeling scared or it's feeling insecure. What would you do to the bacha? You hug it and you give it love and compassion and hold it. So it's giving an opportunity to experience love in that connection. But when we're feeling negative emotion, we think, I don't want to deal with this, I want to bury it away, it's wrong to feel it, we start judging it. But it's another way of just thinking that child in us needs more compassion and love. So instead of hating that emotion, it's actually embracing it and saying, I'm going to love you, I'm not going to ignore you. So that's what I mean, every emotion has a divine meaning to it.
Yeah, and going on from what you're saying in terms of spirituality, it's like, embrace that feeling, which is something that I've learned from Dad, because I never thought of it like that. But it's also, it's also about accepting yourself for who you are. And life is always a journey. We're always changing. There isn't any space that you're not. You can never stand still, and the only time you can stand still is when you're no longer here. So anyway, find a helpful advisor is the next one. So find someone that you can trust, confide in. Now sometimes that might not be a family or a friend, it might be like an outside organisation where you can call them anonymously and talk about whatever it is that you're worrying about. It could be your GP, therapist. So find somebody that you feel is going to bring you more clarity in your life, so that you can see life from lots of different perspectives, because sometimes the people that you want to give you the right decisions may not be those people. So that's something that is worth bearing in mind. Sometimes it's better to speak to somebody that's totally disconnected from you, from your family or your friends, because sometimes what happens is you get judgment, and they will hold you in a smaller position than maybe your potential. The next one is focus on the positive.
Yes, and this is again, it's like in a negative situation, there's always something positive in there.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, I love your earrings. You got the earrings on today. So like I said, there's always a positive in the negative, and the negative is just as necessary as a positive. We both need them both. And because, like you said, we need the polarity, and we need the contrast. Without cold, we won't appreciate the warmth. Without hatred, we won't appreciate love. So, like I said, some people got this thing, I've got to be positive thinking all the time. You can do that, but in the negative situation, if you do feel negative, you allow yourself, okay, what is this teaching me? And then you find the positive in there. But don't completely condemn and start rating yourself or judging that I shouldn't be feeling negative. It's okay. This is where we love self-compassion, self-love. I'm feeling negative and it's okay. Sometimes, the negative has a lesson, not sometimes, all the time it has a lesson in there. And that's where you can see the positive in all in our experiences and our thinking.
And my favourite quote in terms of focus on the positive is every cloud. So whatever situation you have in your life, every cloud has a silver lining. There's always something, like you've just said, that we learn from every challenge or every positive or negative in our life. The next one is be appreciative of what you have. I think sometimes ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਤੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਕਿ ਸੱਚੀ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਲੱਕੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਸਹੀ ਆ my grandchildren are okay, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਘਰ ਆ ਤੱਤਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਆ bathroom, all these other things ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ family ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ, ਸਾਰਾ ਚੇਤਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ, and we just focus on that negative situation. So it's important to remember ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਚਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਫ ਜੀਨੇ ਆ, we are going to get challenging situations करके आप सिखते तो उत्थों ही आ जे if everybody was happy on the earth then फिर असी we wouldn't be learning anything, nobody would be growing because everybody would just be in a situation of I think stagnancy and not moving on. You know, jithe pani, you know, wherever there's a river, it's got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And that's the same as us. So, you know, be appreciative, practice being grateful for whatever it is that you're coming across at that particular time.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one, next one. Avoid jealous thoughts and behaviors. And avoiding this definitely leads you to a best life. But also, if they do come up, you know, jealous sort of thoughts and feelings. It is normal, but it is normal. But then also it's telling you something about your relationship with yourself,
yeah.
Where you feel inadequate, where you feel not worthy enough, or where you feel like someone's better than me or whatever, and
or they've got more than you.
Yeah, competition. Yeah. You come in that competition thing. You know, I've got to prove myself. You know, so this is coming from a place of lack and unworthiness and insecurities. Jealousy does, and you just don't feel enough. And but that's where you can use a jealousy, and say. And change your mindset around it. Just saying, you know, where do I feel I'm not being enough, or I'm not being, you know, valued or whatever. And then you change that relationship with yourself, thinking, no, I'm worthy enough. I have enough. Or what I have, I appreciate. And what they have is good for them. But I also noticed how to heal this situation with jealous thoughts. Start praising and blessing other people, because you know, if we understand, like with spirituality, we're all one consciousness, we're all one, and everybody else is us, everybody exists. Separateness. It's only when we come to the separateness that jealousy comes. But once you go into that spirituality concept, that everybody is us, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਂ. So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ celebrate ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ their success, actually ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ. You know, but if you're condemning someone and you're judging someone and feeling jealous, or you just, that's happening to you.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, if somebody's in a very happy relationship and you feel your relationship isn't good, you celebrate their relationship, because it's not them, you're celebrating it to yourself. And if somebody's having a very good, successful business, congratulate them, celebrate them on vadaiyan do, because that is happening to you, because what you give out comes back to you.
Yeah. And also sometimes ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ you feel jealous or envious, that can help you to push yourself to increase whatever you want. If you want a better car, then that could help you to look at what can you do to make your life better. There's nothing wrong with jealousy and envy, but only if it's done in a constructive way.
Or you can use it as a form of compliment. If somebody's jealous of you, then you can use it as a form of compliment, because sometimes you say, that person, it doesn't want to know me anymore because they're jealous of me. But then, like you said, change your thinking around it, thinking, well, I must be doing something so good, man, that the person feels it. Then you say to yourself, wow, I didn't see it like that. I am doing really well in my life.
And unfortunately, these kind of people do fall away, and that's something they need to work on. You know, you shouldn't stop being who you are just because somebody's got insecure feelings about themselves. And you just have to be compassionate to these kind of people and to ourselves. The next one is stop complaining. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ complain ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ, all we're doing is we're just creating negative energy. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸੀ, you know, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੂਡ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. So you have to be careful ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਚੋਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ, how that's affecting you, as in your body, your mind, your emotions, ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ. So even, you know, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ complain ਕਰਨਾ ਆ, then complain, but try and do something about it rather than just complaining for complaining's sake. Because the truth is, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ complain ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਲੋਕ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਰਕੇ life ਤਾਂ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਔਖੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ. So why would you go and sit with somebody who's going to bring your mood down? You want to be somewhere where somebody's going to lift you up, because life's tough.
And I think complaining is also a habit ban jindi hai. Somebody don't realize karde hain, you must be around people that constantly complain complain, but uno aap nu nahi pata si karde hain, because it's an automatic behavior ban janda. But if you notice why they keep complaining, because whatever you focus, give your attention, jehdi cheez tusi zyada sochde ho, you know, you believe in it so much, rab kehanda, You know, if you want to complain, I'll give you more things to complain about.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to praise things, I'll give you more things to be grateful and shukrana. So whatever to see energy, then Rab just says yes, yes, yes. Okay, you believe in this so much, I'll give you something else to complain about.
Yeah, but complainers, it's just you know, कोई नहीं चाहता हैगा कि ऐसी लोगों की कंप्लेंट सुनो करके जिद्दां मैं थानू कहा भी life's just tough. Nobody wants to be around that energy. ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ we might feel better for a short time, but people don't want to know, really. I don't think so.
No, I mean, I find it very difficult to be around somebody who's complaining all the time, because I actually you see a different perspective, thinking you've got so much going in your life. You know, but
that ਤੁਸੀਂ focus ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ on that negative situation.
And it's usually 10% of their life, but the 90% of their life is quite going really well. But they only see the 10%.
Which is a shame, really.
It is, I know.
It is a real shame.
So we talk about taking action now. So it's very important. This is very important to live an active and healthy lifestyle. You know, I have to think to have your best life, because body is all about movement, and body's not here just to be, you know, stagnant. You know, we have the arms and legs to move, and if we don't move them, we're wasting this precious human experience. And so living your best life means being healthy, taking care of your body. The better you treat your body, you know, the longer it will stay healthy. And when you're thinking healthy, they always say, you know, health is wealth. And then you feel more successful, and then you are attracting more good things in your life, not just with good relationships, but also wealth and, you know, a good career, all areas in your life that when you feel taking good care of yourself. Because like you said, when you're exercising and all that, you're releasing all these wonderful hormones, serotonin, endorphins, and you're feeling such a high, and when you're on a high vibration, we become powerful manifestors, and things we attract very quickly when we're feeling healthy and vibrant.
And another thing about that, which I'll just mention, is it's your responsibility to take care of your health. Within our culture, ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ such a person is going to look after me. No, change your mindset. My nana used to say this, ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਹੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ. So if you've got your health, you've got everything you need. Because you know, you don't have to depend on anybody. So don't say, oh, mere ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੇਰੀ look after ਕਰਨੀ, ਉਹ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, this, that, and that. Just say to yourself, I want to take care of myself. I don't want anyone to take care of me. So I think that's a great way to look at your life going forward.
It's a form of self-love. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਦੀ respect ਕਰਦੇ, ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. And when you do more self-love and self-respect, then dunya will show that to you. They will mirror that back to you.
So the next one's make active decisions. So think about, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ, ਯਾਤਰਾ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ, ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ. I mean, for me, I don't want to visit the same place more than once. India is separate, but because family live there. But think about ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ, you know, you can see with new eyes. Visit different places. ਆਪਣੀ community ਚ ਜਾਵੋ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, you know, you can make some kind of friendships and connect with people on different levels, and you know, become happier. So ਕੱਲਾ you know, ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ 2-11. So the more people you interact with, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ life ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਰਹਿ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ. ਤੁਸੀਂ plan ਕਰੋ ਵੀ, you know, I might be 50, I might be 60, I might be 70. ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ. You know, find out what's happening in your community, at the college, at the gurdwara, at the mandir, you know, wherever you go, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਰ ਲੋਕ ਹੈਗੇ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ. ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਬਣਾਓ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ, ਤੁਰਨ ਫਿਰਨ ਜਾਂ whatever, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇਖਣਾ. So that's when you can bring more colour into your life. So that's a really interesting one for me.
So being proactive, this is also very important. We've both been doing this more now than ever.
Definitely.
That means taking risk. You know, things I think that probably 10 years ago I can never imagine we'd be doing what we're doing now. But it took us out of our comfort zone, because I can be honest, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਡਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ speaking in front of the public, thinking I'm going to make a fool out of myself. And I know even now, I mean, in the beginning of the show, I started laughing and giggling, but then think it's fine, this is me, it's natural for me. But before, if I had to do something like this, I was, oh my God, I made a fool out of myself. But now I'm thinking it's fine. But that's because you started to value and honor yourself. And you think like, when you stop caring what other people say, that's the biggest freedom you can experience in life.
It's the highest freedom. I don't think there's anything more than that.
For me, having a laugh and being silly is very important because it makes me feel healthy. That's another form of being healthy, is laughing and enjoying and having fun and bringing the, embracing your inner child. But yeah, taking risk is good. It takes you out of your comfort zone. So there's a lot of things I know I've done in the past few years that's taken me out of my comfort zone massively.
Oh, and me.
And there's even time in the past, in few years, I was thinking, but I don't know how to get there, and I don't know what I'm going to say. I used to make excuses. Oh, I'll go to that place or that seminar if somebody comes with me. Now it changed. I'm thinking it doesn't matter if somebody's with me or not, I'm going to go. Because you build confidence, and taking risks does build up your self-esteem and throw your confidence in there, and you just feel like something to celebrate about yourself.
And I think ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, say if you go to like ਕੋਈ ਕੋਰਸ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਆਪਣੇ ਫਰੈਂਡਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ they're all busy this that and the other, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਕਰਦਾ you really want to go but you've got nobody to go with you, but ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ you're going to make friends, you're going to meet people who like-minded people ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਖਿਆਲਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਰਲ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ, and you're going to make a friend. So those are all the positives of doing something on your own. Because ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ, you're kind of pulling them somewhere where they don't really want to go. So it's better to kind of really ਤੁਸੀਂ try ਕਰੋ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਆਪ try ਕਰਨਾ, because you have got the strength, but sometimes you have to really like try your hardest in doing that.
I think life circumstances jabardasti pushes you. Like when I had my symptoms in the beginning, when I had enough, then it pushed me to go on to that course. Otherwise I wouldn't have gone. It took me out my comfort zone. I actually rang them up, thinking I'm going to ring them up. And it turned out that it happened on the next couple of days. The course starts in like 2 days. I think.
So it didn't give you time to think about it.
Change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. So there was everything happens for a reason.
So so we want to do, you do this one, be willing to invest in things that matter.
So ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ invest ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, some people, money is important, property is important, family is important, friends are important. For me personally, all of those things are important. So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੱਲੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇਵੋ, your financial situation, save for a rainy day. Family, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ family ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ, don't be on your phone, talk to each of your family members. ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ connection ਬਣਾਉਣੀ ਆ, ਹਨਾ, ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, with your grandchildren, spend quality time with them, and that's something I really, really firmly believe in. Friends, take time out. ਕੱਲੇ friend ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਊਗਾ, 4 ਹੋਊਗਾ, 5 ਹੋਊਗਾ, but spend time, put it in your calendar, be ask friend ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਮਿਲਣਾ, so all of these things are important. Maybe you want to travel, so spend time whatever brings you happiness, invest that time and energy into that. And ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ family friends ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋ, you can still do it, but there's got to be some compromise there. Because I don't believe that we are here just for other people. We are here as individuals to do things that make us happy as individuals, but it's about finding what it is that makes you happy, makes you happy in the first place.
I just feel God experiencing itself through you as Gurdial, as a human experience through me as Dal. But I mean, talking about investing, I feel for me at the moment where I am, that I want to invest internally, invest my energy into productive thoughts and my visualization, my imagination, where I can create abundance, I can create harmony, I can create wonderful new manifestations, experiences. So for me, like my thoughts, my energy is currency, so I want to invest in there more of my energy and being more inwards, and my imagination is where I feel I'm doing a lot of investment now.
And we're both very similar in the way that we think and stuff, but for me it's about investing in the love laugh live because that's our baby, where we want what we're kind of sharing with everybody to benefit everybody in such a positive and beautiful, harmonious way, that this sort of continues, and it's just a way of looking at life in a much more powerful and kind and caring way, where you're not just taking care of yourself, but you're thinking about all the people around you, but in a balanced way, where it's not all about them and it's not all about you. Because as you've already said in so many ways, we're all one person anyway.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so I think this bit we're going to do in every show, and we're going to talk about how to remember the 5 simple rules to be happy. So the first one
is free your heart from hatred. So forgive. I mean, what does this mean to you, Dad? Free your heart from hatred.
For me, it's like if I hold on to hatred, I feel like I said, mera hi nuksan hunda. And I just feel like I will never able to live a fulfilling life. मैं किसी area मेरे life च मैंने खुशी नहीं मिलनी, because मैं और तेरे दिल दे विच प्यार होना चाहिए, मुझे नफरत रखा होया, because I feel दिल दे विच मेरे रब नाल connection हुंदी है, फिर मैं अपने रब दे नाल connection I'm putting a blockage by holding on to hatred. And if I'm not connecting to Rab, I won't able to manifest all the wonderful experiences in my life. So for me to free my heart from hatred, I'm actually allowing myself to have a wonderful, a very fulfilling life.
And for me, to free my heart from a hatred, and ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਫ਼ਰਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ, you know, we use the word hate quite easily, but for me it's like it's not something that can be just done like that. हौली time पा के तुसी सोच के है ना करके. I believe everybody's got their own journey, you know, wherever everybody's got to go, and sometimes that person कोई ना कोई थोड़ी life दे विच थानू छड़ के चल जांदा है, जां कोई नुकसान होया होगा, you know, whether it's business, family, friends, whatever. There's a part of you that's got to accept that that's not part of your continuing journey. So जे तुसी नफरत करदे आ, ओ जिद्दां it's like anger. एक कोला जिहड़ा हुंदा है, जिहड़ा तुसी अपने हाथ रखदे in the form of hate or anger or any negative emotion, तुसी अपने आप नू लुने आ, you know, your emotions, your physical health, your mental health, all तुहाडा नुकसान हुंदा जिद्दां हुण डैव ने कहा आ. So you know, it's better to forgive. कहना भी चलो, my mom, I mean, I will mention this, mom used to say chal ho, you know, that's their path, and you can create happiness, forgiveness in your life, but do it in a way that's allowing them to live their life, because we're all here learning things, and their life lesson is different to yours, and you can just give them love and light and allow them to go on their way and continue living your life without holding on to that hot coal.
That's right, yeah. So that's the first one. The second one is we're going to share with you, free your mind from worries. You know, take the ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਿਕਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਨ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, free yourself from it, and most of us never do that, do we?
I think worrying is a normal part of life, and you know, it's fight, flight, freeze. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ from, you know, years and years ago, ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੇ ਆਏ ਆ, we've had to have those instincts within our bodies, but ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, for the time that we've been on this earth, we don't have to have those instincts as much. We're still intuitive, in our intuition still works, but ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਕਰ ਕਰਕੇ we lose weight, we lose our hair, ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਆ. So ਫਿਕਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈਗਾ, that's normal part of life, but it's when it goes out of control. You know, if you imagine COVID, how much that's affected people's mental health.
Yeah. It's interesting, there's a little story I can share with you. It's like my daughter's ready to go to university, and her mother friends said, you know, daughters are ready to go to university, and so I was really happy and excited for my daughter. And then the other moms said to me, she goes, you seem so happy, you know, I mean, the mom said that ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਿਕਰ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ how they manage, and I think the other ਫਿਕਰ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਕੱਲੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੇਜੀਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਲੰਡਨ and ਵਗੈਰਾ, and I think ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਪੁੱਠੇ ਕੰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈ ਜਾਣ, things like that. So they already started worrying, and worrying is like self-prophecy. You're worrying about something going wrong. And I was thinking, well, and then I said, they asked me to go, you look fine, tu ta fikr nahi karti. And I was thinking, well, my daughter worked so hard to get to this stage. I want to be happy for her. And I want to, मैं worry कर सकती हूँ, मैं खुश रह सकती हूँ, they want to be excited for her. I got a choice. But she goes, it's natural to worry. Asi ta worry kar because sanu pyar hai apne bachchiyan de na. But then say main bhi pyar karti hu, but it doesn't mean I have to do pyar and have to worry. Because I understood that by that time, whatever we're focusing on, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਅਸੀਂ imagine ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, we are always creating whatever we're imagining. And I was thinking, I don't want to see my daughter getting into trouble or getting the mushkilan aa rahiyan, there's problems or whatever. I want to visualize her being happy and doing so well. And so I was thinking, because I love her, because मैं उन्हें प्यार करती हूँ, I'd rather focus on seeing her being, just passing with flying colors and meeting new friends and having such a harmonious time. And so that was my focus. They thought I didn't love my daughter enough, that tu fikr hi nahi kardi. They think that fikr means worry. And I was thinking, I can understand where they were coming from. But then I was thinking, I'm only come to this stage because of the work that I'd done. But it's so interesting. So the outcome was like, jiri cheezo fikr kardi sige about their daughters, they happened. And then it's so interesting. They came back to me, oh God, Satina told you, that hunda hai, because they believed in it. And those things did happen to them.
It's almost like they've manifested it.
It's self-prophesizing, aren't they, through worrying. And so what do you actually believe these things do happen in this world, it actually happened to them. Because I wasn't giving my attention and focus there, it didn't happen. I did see my daughter flourish and she did so well. So it's interesting that how that plays out.
I'm going back to what you're saying about university. I was really happy for my children, and it's not even university. It's anything that they do. I'm just happy that they're healthy and they're just getting on with their life. So it's all about your perspective. ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਨਕਾਂ, whatever lens you're looking through, ਉਹੀ ਕੁਛ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ. So just try and remain positive, even if you don't feel like it. Because to me, fikr is ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ rocking chair ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਝੂਟੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ. It's like you're not going anywhere. So worrying doesn't help you in any situation. The जिन्ना भी ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਕਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਕਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ. So we can think about all the things we've worried about, none of them will have come true, but in our mind we're thinking that it's going to happen, but in reality it's very, very few situations. I don't know of anyone
unless you invest
like
too
that.
much energy into it. It will eventually conform, and then you will experience it if you invest too much energy into it. It's if you're dominant thought, dominant belief, then you got no choice but to then experience it. But like you said, worry is, like you said, you're investing too much of your energy into something that is not healthy for anyone. And if you do love your family and your children, if somebody's coming home late and they haven't, instead of thinking, oh, pata nahi ki ho gaya, pata nahi ho gaya. No, I think they're fine. They're coming home. They probably just missed the bus, but they're on the way. But instantly you start thinking, accident, na ho gaya, nahi ho gaya. But it's not healthy for you or the person you're thinking about.
So the next one is live simply and appreciate what you have. So ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, enjoy what you have. Simple life ਜੀਣੀ ਵੀ, that's a really good way to live anyway. Doesn't matter even if you've got, God has given you so much abundance, that's completely fine as well. But whatever you've got, just enjoy it and just live a simple life.
Yeah, I think the power lies in simplicity. There's so much power in that. We like to, our minds, and I like to complicate things, and always wants to think, I got to keep thinking to find a solution, and we complicate things. Sometimes the simple answer is just relax. Let it go and just go into your heart and answer utte ape aa jande a. Jida
my nanny used to say, jithe marji tusi hege a do hi rotiyan khaniyan, whether you end up eating very, very posh meals or something, you can still only consume so much. We all have to go to the bathroom every day. There's certain things that human beings have to do. It doesn't matter where you are or on the ladder of life. So the most important thing is if you've got your mental health, then you've got everything. So living a very simple life. Some of the richest people, they crave going out into simplicity, and that's the madness. And sometimes, we think we need so much things, and we overcomplicate our life with things.
Start hoarding
hoarding things because we feel like that's what we need to show the world, but no, not really. It's really about simplicity in your own mind, because that's how you're feeling. So that's worth considering.
I think also you can tell somebody's mindset if they're very chaotic or they're simple just from the environment. In the environment,
I'm chaotic.
In the environment, you can see somebody's house is so cluttered and so many things. You can tell they're not just they don't have simple thoughts. They just put it everywhere, and it's very chaotic. And it's too cluttered. So.
I need help, but
I can't imagine that.
So the next one is give more. So when we think about give more, what do you think we should be giving more of?
I think now I start to realize where I am in life now. I need to give more to myself. Only then I can give to others. That's what it means to me.
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਭਾਂਡਾ ਖਾਲੀ ਆ, ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਖਾਲੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ? ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ, even if that's just spending 10 minutes meditating in the morning or going to the gym ਜਾਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ, whichever, ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੱਲੋ ਮੱਲੀ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. So sometimes, but you know, culturally we've been saying you have to look after everybody else and then look after yourself. ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੇ ਆ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਆ ਕਿ it is important ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ look after ਕਰੋ before you look after everybody else, ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਆ, then automatically you can make other people happy. But for me, give more is also about time. You know, give more time to yourself, give more time to the things which are important to you. ਹਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਵੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest suffering, human suffering, is that we expect so much from other people. We only expect kada because it's and that's the biggest suffering, and that's where disappointment comes. Because we feel like sadi koi qadar nahi karte, sadi respect nahi karte hai, because we just think we've never been taught. Maybe it's something we conditioned from. We learned from our, adapted it from our environment, that we learned our parents that they had to keep giving to others, that's the only way they found some sort of acceptance and felt belonging to a community or family. So but you actually saw them, actually, you know, I've seen it as well, that sometimes you give so much that
you just burn out.
You burn out, and they're depleted, and they're not feeling well, and then they're ill, and bambariyan shuru ho jande, kade headache, all these health issues are in there because you are trying to give too much, and there's energy imbalance ho jande, and you know, that's when your body then's shouting out to you, whatever to see behave kade that lifestyle, it's not helping you. You learn to need to back off and come and start giving that attention to yourself. And the bamari is like it's a way of like you have to think about it then, you can't focus on that situation there. That's the pain is a way of it's a call out.
Because if you think about migraines, there's something going on in your mind that you're constantly thinking about. So you're not just getting a little bit of a headache or a big headache, but you're getting something so excruciatingly painful. And I know there could be other ways of having these kind of headaches, but they must start from your thoughts, because that's what's actually making you feel so overwhelmed that you can't even face anybody. You've got to be in a dark room where you're forced to kind of just retire from life for a short time, and that's got to start from somewhere. And the last one that we've come to is expect less from people but more from yourself. So expectations, it's a big thing. I mean, we did discuss this a little while ago. Jitho asi lokan to vishwas karte bhi oh mere liye aa karuga, oh mere, and then when they don't do what you expect them to do, then you're disappointed. But then if you didn't have that expectation in the first place, then you'd be fine, because as long as you can take care of yourself, then why should anybody else? If somebody volunteers to do things for you, they're doing it from a place of love. But if they don't want to, or they're too busy, that's still okay. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's just the way life is. But if we can do things for ourselves, then we're in a better place, because we're not feeling like we're lacking something, and people have got to do something to make us feel better.
I think also Amul mentioned the empath. You know, empaths jehde hunde a na, it's a terminology used that people who love to do things for everyone, they want to save the world, or jadi seva karna chahte, you know, that is also, there's a program running there thinking, if I keep giving, then I'll be accepted and loved. And then we find ourselves attracted to people who love to take. So, and they like to take, so give, but then that's when we really drain ourselves, because we give too much. It does make you start feeling that you actually feel so depleted in yourself, to the point that you even stop liking yourself. You start hating yourself, berating yourself, that main enna kuch karke is
meri qadar nahi karte.
Sometimes there has to be a balance. So this is thing about, people say empaths are really nice, kind people in the world. They're always out there to save the world, but there has to be a balance there. And you think yourself, if I didn't do this, let's say one day I'm thinking I can't give today, what's going to happen? I'm going to give it to myself. You know, and then some people think, no, if I give it to myself, I feel guilty, I should be there. If you're doing it out of guilt, that's not coming out of love then. So when you want to give to someone, and you do it out of pure love, but if you're giving just you want to feel guilty, that's not.
Or because you're expecting something back. That's not really giving from a great place. So we're coming to the end of our program very soon. So we really hope you've enjoyed how to live your best life. Really hope that you can rewind, pause, write down some of the kind of things that we've talked about, because they are all valuable points. And if we can all start taking action from each and every one point, you know, we can lead much more fulfilling lives. Yes,
and this is something you just not read about it, and it's got to implement it. I mean, in the past, I've done so much research for Gara, but you don't get asli life badalde nahi hegi, and so it's something that we have to do for the rest of our life. Just because ਅਸੀਂ coaching there, it means we still have to do it. I have to do it every day, and some days you do, it knocks you back thinking, okay, I've been doing so much, but it's a lifestyle change. I have to continue with it for the rest of my life.
So thank you for watching the Love, Laugh, Live chat show with Gurdial and Dav Ubi. Sasri Gal.